Thank you very much. Yes. I'm Jürgen Richter, managing consultant and design thinking coach at Detecon. Detecon is part of the Deutsche Telekom Group, so the biggest European telecommunication operator and the number 3 mobile operator in the United States. I feel very honored to be invited here to Korea. It's the first time for me to be in Korea, and I hope I can report you a little bit about smart city in the European Union and in projects by Deutsche Telekom. So first will be a short overview of how the European Union is funding smart city projects, and then I will go over to Deutsche Telekom project in Europe, and at the end, how is the situation, the intelligence in Germany, and how are we coping with the funding of smart city projects. These are 3 examples of European projects starting in 2014 and lasting until around about 2020. The European Union decided to give this project always to 3 lighthouse cities, and which will be supported by follow-up cities. The first big project is My Smart Life with the cities of Nantes, Hamburg and Helsinki. The focus here is building inclusive cities, reducing CO2 emissions, increasing the use of renewable energy and making the cities more environmental friendly. Second one is Smarter Together with the cities of Lyon, Munich and Vienna. Here the aim of the project and of the European Union funding is to find the right balance between ICT technologies, citizen engagement and institutional governance. And the third one, also a German city being part of it, is Grow Smarter with Stockholm, Cologne and Barcelona. The objective of this EU funding project is to demonstrate, validate and market 12 smart solutions regarding low energy districts, integrated infrastructure and urban mobility. So these 3 big smart city projects under the umbrella of the Horizon 2020 European Union project are still running. Results will be delivered by the end of 2019, start of 2020. So this is the European perspective. When a city is getting funding in Europe or in Germany by an international institution, that is always highly welcome, because then the city has not to provide the funds by its own. And this can lead in some cases to the situation that cities don't want to invest, they just wait for the next European Union funding or perhaps a local or national funding scheme. Coming to the second part, Deutsche Telekom projects in the European Union and in Germany. The Deutsche Telekom decided to focus on 5 core solutions for smart cities: shipment and asset monitoring, asset tracking, industrial machine monitoring, mobile identity and access, and digital drive. So everything what has to do with mobility. Due to this, we did a lot of pilots and projects in the last years all over Europe and in addition in China. As you can see, this is ranging from bike sharing in Hungary over public transport management system also in Hungary, smart parking solution in Pisa, Italy, the digital trees, it is an interactive visualization based on open data for street trees in New York City, a smart lighting project in Dubrovnik, Croatia, Russia, Croatia. There will be a very good team at the World Cup this time. Modular traffic management in Hungary, mobile monitoring in Czech Republic, event management with Fan City, and at the end, mobility management. This was an application for reducing greenhouse gases cooperatively in Chinese cities. So this is just an overview of pilots and projects which have been mainly also funded with subsidies. So these are not only projects which are paid by local government or local cities, these are mainly subsidized projects. Having an overview of the countries where these project and pilots took place, I already mentioned Budapest in Europe, Germany, Slovakia, Spain, and Pisa. Sorry. I extracted 4 of these projects just to give you an overview where it took place and what we implemented in these pilots or projects. First one is the city in Hungary with a name I still have problems to pronounce, Nia Reknjata. Here we supported strong economic, social and cultural development with a smart city platform, home care, a smart city service and a surveillance. The second one was in Dubrovnik. Dubrovnik became very famous to the Game of Thrones movies or films you probably have seen. Very old town, very medieval town with, which is in the summertime overcrowded by tourists like Barcelona. Here we made people street smart with the first smart city street in Croatia, including smart parking, air quality monitoring, traffic monitoring and street lighting. In Romania, we were focusing in the capital on improving social and economic conditions with smart strategies by providing a smart city platform with street lighting, smart parking, city safety and traffic monitoring. In Hungary, we had a capital start public transport in 13 counties and round about 4,000 vehicles across Hungary with community bikes, public transport management, passenger information and energy management. So we have been here able to reach 3.3 million inhabitants in Hungary. And coming to Germany, as the last slide of the European section, here we implemented a smart city platform and smart port logistics at one of the biggest harbors in Europe with a smart city platform. And here we had the focus of having the right information in the right place in time, with zero distance information between customers and employees based on only location-based information, stakeholder integration and a cloud solution in order to save 5 to 10 minutes per tour in the whole area of the Hamburg harbor. Coming to Germany, we have in Germany 3 facts about digitalization. One is added value of digitalization. 9 of 10 cities in Germany and municipalities think the added value of digitalization is high or very high. The digitalization readiness is by 51%. That means only half of cities and municipalities feel well prepared. And the digital competencies is by 10%. Only 10% of the cities rank their digitalization as good or Very good. One of our biggest challenges in Germany is the demographic change, probably like same situation like in Japan, and probably also in Korea, that we have decreasing population and rising life expectancy. Germany is getting older, and we have in the next 10 to 20 years, most people are coming out of the area of 50 to 70 years old. What does it mean for the cities? The young mobile people are moving to the cities, so they are leaving the countrysides, they are leaving the rural areas, going into the cities, and the older people stay at home, stay in these rural areas, and of course a lot of issues are rising regarding health, regarding any kind of retirement issues and topics you can imagine. The people remaining in the countryside have to be provided with the necessary services. How can this be done by, or how can this be supported by smart city services? And in the cities, with more and more people, infrastructure has to be modernized and made more efficient. All this has, of course, to be done in close cooperation with limited financial resources. Most of the cities in Germany, they have to pay for their smart city services. These cities have substantial savings requirements in public budgets. They have rising costs in operations of municipal infrastructures. They have rising personal costs and increased service requirements. So result is compulsion to increase efficiency and not enough budget for funding of smart city services. Apart from EU funding, a lot of cities are talking to us that let's don't take our money, please go to the European Union, go to the national government, get the money and then come back. And since these funds are not so big that you can support every little town or even mid-sized town and cities, we are not able to fund or to subsidize German smart city services by European Union funds or German government subsidies. The experience we have drawn from our smart city project are, we have the service provider in Germany, Deutsche Telekom, other service provider. Everyone is now trying to go deeper into the smart city market, but sometimes there is still a proof of concept and not a finalized complete product on stage. That means if you're offering only proof of concept, these means severe consequences for product quality and of course for the delivery times. Second, very important experience out of the project, we focused in the first years on the cities of the size starting from 100,000 inhabitants up to 500,000 or million, and not below, because we are thinking that this size has the required funds of planning and implementing smart city services. But then we realized that in small cities the decision processes are so much quicker. You have a very short path between the different stakeholders in a small city, that at the end we have now more projects with cities of the size 40, 50, 60,000 people than with cities of 200 and 300,000 people. For example, the experience we have drawn with our capital Berlin, this is a nightmare. You have so many stakeholders being involved in any kind of smart city process that it will take years in order for to do the planning and to do the implementation of smart city services. But if we are coping with small cities where you have strong mayors with influence in the whole city, then you can start a smart city project and perform them, implement them in a couple of months. So this is a big discrepancy between what we thought in the past and what we realize now, that time to implementation is much better and much quicker with smaller cities than the bigger ones. Objectives of city organizers. The motivation is diverging to a significant extent between the mayors, the city councillors on the one hand side, and the city administration and the utility companies on the other hand side. So utility companies are in Germany mainly owned by the city. The city or the mayor has political targets, but the utility company, they have profit targets. So if you want to convince both of implementing or planning and implementing smart city services, you have to mix or to get together the political opinion or background and matches with the profit-oriented background of state-owned or city-owned utility company. Proceeding. Independent of the size, most cities tend to start planning and implementing smart city without having any strategy. So I always try to convince cities that look at Vienna, look at Copenhagen, look at Amsterdam. They had a strategy, and then based on the strategy, they started to implement services. For example, Copenhagen is the first city to become carbon neutral by 2025. This is an objective where you can join your forces and have a vision for the whole city. Just starting with planning and implementing some state-of-the-art smart city services without having any vision or any strategy is on the long run or cannot be successful and sustainable on the long run. And at the end, the topic we just had in the presentations before, city participation is a very, very important topic in Germany. But on the other hand side, if you have all stakeholders, including the citizens, in the decision process included, that means or that makes the whole process very complex and of course time-consuming. So if you have a time frame, if you have budgets, and then you have the time constraints, this can lead to some challenges we are facing in the last couple of years. Based on this, we thought, do we really understand cities? What can we do to understand cities better? Because like a telecommunication company, they tend in some cases to plan and implement sophisticated high-end solution or products, and sometimes forget to ask what the client finally needs. Who is the client in the city? Would be the next question. Is it the mayor? Is it the city council? Is it the utility companies? Is it the citizen? Is it the local companies, or is it the university in the city? So you have a bunch of customers which needs have to be taken care of. That's why we thought we have to make a really deep dive study, a smart city typology of Germany. That's why we evaluated more than 200 sources in order to get an understanding how cities are behaving, how cities are thinking, how cities can be hopefully understand. And after more than half a year of work, we were able to get 10 different categories out of cities in this smart city topology, ranging from stagnant industrial cities with social hotspots over modern, wealthy and growing satellite cities until existentially threatened, heavily subsidized cities, for example, in East Germany. So this just this typology just was released last week. That's what I'm about to present here today for you. We analyzed all German cities above 15,000 inhabitants. That means 981 cities have been analyzed and are now part of the typology. And based on this, we can go now on the second step, invite the mayors and the city councils of the cities to a big campus, which will take place on June 11th. Probably, if we are lucky, 10% of the cities will have time to come and to spend the whole day together with us. Then, in these talks with the cities, we will derive challenges they have in their cities, and then we are offering them for free a 6 to 8 weeks design thinking co-innovation approach in order to develop together with them the challenge they have, and at the end there should be a kind of prototype deriving and being produced by us, which will then be presented in September to the mayors of the participating cities in order then to have a better picture of what cities of different sizes needs in Germany. That was my last sentence. Thank you very much for your